Every hour, Dodge's bank balance increases by $500,000, and the amount doubles with time until after 24 hours, it becomes $200 million. But there's one condition. First, the white-haired man ordered him to hand over everything on him, then made him stand up. After a very thorough body search, he was allowed to sit back down and was handed a phone. Dodge could use it to check his bank account balance. As the second hand hit zero, the white-haired man announced the game had begun and advised Dodge to head somewhere crowded. That way, his chances of surviving would greatly increase. There were 5 hunters hidden in the bar. They could be in any profession. The prey had 3 minutes to run and only needed to remember one thing: survive for 24 hours, and the $200 million is his. Dodge jumped up and sprinted out of the bar. The game rules were simple: no leaving the city limits and no asking the police for help. He got on a bus trying to stay out of the hunter's sight. Suddenly, someone rushed toward the door. Dodge begged the driver to start the bus, but the bus had a fixed departure schedule. The man who boarded walked straight up to Dodge, asking for a seat. Left with no choice, Dodge gave it up. But something felt off. Until the man reached toward Dodge's briefcase, Dodge jumped away from the seat, ran to the driver, and shouted for an emergency stop. After getting off the bus, he ran again. But before he could relax, he sensed a new danger. Felt like someone was following him. He darted across the street and entered a shopping mall. Believing the hunters wouldn't make a move in public, he saw an elevator just opening, seized the chance and rushed in. But as the doors were closing, a hand blocked them. He hoped to hide on a random floor, but clearly that was not happening. He had a gut feeling the man was also a hunter. For protection, Dodge quietly grabbed a pen from a nearby girl. The elevator arrived. The man followed the girl out. Dodge let out a sigh of relief. He went up a few more floors, thinking he was finally safe. But as soon as he stepped out of the elevator, he looked back. It was that same man. He calmly lifted his arm, revealing a hidden blade. It confirmed he was a hunter. Dodge ran as fast as he could, but ended up at a dead end. He pushed into a restroom, picked a stall at random, and hid inside. Soon he heard the hunter's footsteps outside. Kneeling down to peek, the hunter didn't see anything through the gap. Turns out Dodge was crouched on top of the toilet. The hunter wasn't in a hurry. He took off his jacket, revealed a concealed weapon, and set the jacket aside, clearly planning to stay a while. The hunter made his move. He kicked open the bathroom door. One by one, he checked every stall. When the last door flew open, Dodge was exposed right in front of him. The hunter's eyes were full of disappointment. He immediately called the organizers, strongly expressing his dissatisfaction. He had flown halfway across the world for this hunt, and now the game was about to end in less than an hour. The hunter demanded a refund on the spot. The white-haired man apologized, saying he didn't expect the prey to be such a poor match. He quickly promised to make it up to him in the next round. The hunter hung up the phone, ready to end this boring game. But Dodge slammed the door shut from behind and escaped while the hunter was caught off guard. The hunter was furious, but suddenly felt a rush of excitement. Dodge ran downstairs. His phone buzzed twice. The bank deposit had arrived, which also meant his location would be revealed for 15 seconds. The hunter charged toward the signal. Dodge could only watch the timer while scanning his surroundings. Out of nowhere, someone grabbed him from behind. Since they were in a public place, hunter number 2 restrained him, planning to finish the job somewhere quiet. The first hunter rushed down the stairs, saw his prey being taken, and instantly lost his temper. He ran straight to the elevator and slammed the emergency stop button. Dodge took the chance to escape. The hunter chased him again. Just as Dodge was about to exit the mall, there was another hunter at the door. He had to switch routes on the fly, but in the rush, he tripped and tumbled down the stairs. He staggered to his feet, only to find the hunter blocking the exit. He turned to flee, but all the doors in the alley were locked. It seemed like the game was really over. Then a voice came from behind. A patrolling police officer had seen someone fall in. He came over to ask if Dodge needed help. Dodge wanted nothing more than to ask for help, but if he broke the rules, the game would be extended indefinitely until the day the prey died. So he used the officer's presence as a cover to escape again. He saw a bicycle nearby and, without caring about anyone else, he jumped on and rode off. Then he slipped into a subway station, trying to stay in public spaces as much as possible. But to his surprise, the hunter had already found him there too. Dodge jumped into the subway at the very last second before the doors closed. The hunter threw a knife with full force, and it nearly pierced through the glass door. As the train pulled away, he even waved goodbye. Dodge turned around and looked at the passengers on the train. Everyone looked completely shocked. The third hunter, whose prey was just stolen, was furious. He had almost succeeded, but the first hunter wasn't worried at all. If he hadn't paid for the job, then even if the third hunter caught the target, he wouldn't get a single cent. The third hunter had no choice but to swallow his anger and apologize. Dodge found a stadium where a game was happening and started calculating when he would be exposed next. It turned out to match perfectly with the end of the game. He randomly grabbed a fan's identical outfit and walked to the stadium entrance. Then he pulled out his phone and waited for the countdown. The hunter, watching the map, rushed to the scene as fast as he could. As soon as he got out of the car, he sprinted toward his target. The buzzer signaling the end of the game sounded. Dodge quickly changed into the team uniform, and as the gates opened, a massive crowd of fans poured out of the stadium. All the fans were wearing the same outfit. Dodge blended into the crowd. By the time the hunter arrived, it was too late. With the fans all around, he couldn't even see Dodge's face. As the crowd dispersed and people went home, Dodge took the chance and slipped into a stranger's trunk. He once again escaped the chase, but there was a problem with the live broadcast. A middle-aged man realized something was wrong because the car was about to cross the city boundary. Hearing the family's conversation, Dodge started to panic. If he left the game zone, the hunters would have unlimited time to search for him. Dodge banged on the trunk with all his strength. The family heard the noise and got out to check. Luckily, he managed to keep his place in the game. He had narrowly avoided being disqualified.